Hey guys, it's Jolene from Smith's Nature Friendly Farms. We're hanging out inside today on a very rainy day. Unfortunately, no gardening going on today, but I did get some stuff done yesterday. But today I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the really cool seeds I'm going to be trying out this year. I'm super excited about all of them, but let's get right into them. One thing I should tell you about before I get going, I have a rescue kitty in my house, and this kitty is very, very vocal. She was found in the woods living on her own, and now she's roaming through the house now, aimlessly meowing. I think she's in heat, I'm not sure, but she's going to come in and out of this video. Unfortunately, I can't make her be quiet, and she's just doing her thing. So please forgive me for that one. But let's get right into these seeds. One of the first ones we have here is Space Master Cucumber from Burpee Seeds. I believe also Botanical Interest may have had this version as well. But what I'm really excited about this one is that it's very compact. Apparently a much smaller plant size, grows really well in containers. I love growing cucumbers year round, so anything I can do to have a smaller plant, maybe put it in the indoor garden, in the greenhouse, keeping it in there, either way, it'd be great. Reviews kind of say the fruit on this one, or the cucumbers, are best picked small, which in general is actually pretty good, because once a cucumber starts to get really big and it starts to form a lot of seeds, it's signaling to the plant that it's done. So picking your cucumbers a bit smaller rather than super big is much better in general. So this one is a Cucumber Space Master from Burpee Seeds. So this one is the Kajari Melon from Baker's Creek Seeds. I have to admit, I got this one strictly based on its look. Like, it just looks super cool. But it is actually apparently very prolific, incredibly easy to grow for a melon, and has great flavor, really sweet, and a little hint of muskiness. And I just love the look of it. I love that color, so I'm excited to grow that one. Okay, this next one is Petunia Superbissima Cosmic Cherry. I had to read that one, it was quite the name. So this one actually came from a watcher of our channel. Thank you so much for the suggestion. We're really excited about this one. This one has some very pretty ruffled petunias, and it supposedly has cherry flavor into it. So what I'm really excited about is the ability to take these and potentially put it in some of my teas that I make. So I love tea from the Great Mississippi Tea Company here in Brookhaven, and I will get something like their black tea and then mix in a couple of things with it that I quite like, maybe hibiscus, or in this case, it's going to be a petunia this year, so we're going to see how that goes. So it should be a good one. All right, this one is Tetra Dill from Botanical Interest. I'm excited about this one because it's a bushier version of a dill plant, smaller, more compact, but lots of the green dill parts that you're really looking forward to when you plant any herbs. So this is exciting for that reason. It is heat tolerant, which down in the south is something that I really need. So dill generally doesn't do super well in the summertime, so we'll be able to see how far into the summer this dill actually performs. I also have it right now growing in our indoor garden, and it's seeded just fine. It's germinated beautifully and coming up already. I don't know how well it's going to grow in my little indoor garden, but we're going to give it a try and see. Okay, the next one is a kakuzi gourd. Now, this one is actually apparently eaten like a squash. It's from Italy and super prolific. My in-laws actually grew it this year and said it was really prolific. So I'm excited to try this one out. It's a little odd looking, but it should be fun. Okay, so the next two are actually both from Botanical Interest, and they're giant pumpkins. One's Atlantic Giant and one is Big Max. This is totally being done just strictly for my ego. I wish to grow a giant pumpkin and see how big I can grow them. Watch, mine will be very small. The next one is Malabar spinach. This is from Urban Farmer. Now, Malabar spinach I'm growing because I quite like spinach. Spinach is best when you pick it fresh. I don't find it holds very well. When you buy it in the store, it doesn't last nearly as long, so it's great to have. But unfortunately, spinach isn't overall heat tolerant for the south. So I find that I don't do very well growing spinach down here. So this Malabar is supposed to be heat tolerant. It comes, I think, don't quote me, but I think it was an Indian spinach, but it grows up in a vine and is very prolific. Now, you don't want it to go to flower though, because it actually turns the leaves bitter. So the idea here is to pick these before they start to flower. Okay, the next one is Cilantro from Baker's Creek Seeds. This is a slow bolt variety. I love cilantro. I will put cilantro into dressings. I will put cilantro onto my chicken. I will put cilantro onto my fish tacos, you name it. I love cilantro. I'm curious to see how many of you guys are like, nope, taste soap, can't eat it. If you can taste soap, put it in the comments down below. I don't taste soap, I just taste it as delicious. So anyways, it is definitely one that grows well in the south when you catch it in the right season. So in the fall or early spring before it gets too hot, it grows really well. But I'm going to try this version to see if I can actually have it a little longer into the summer, because I can use cilantro all year round. I also have it planted in the indoor garden so that I can have a bit of an herb garden inside, and we'll see how it grows inside. All right, Baker's Creek seeds again. We've got long beans. So this is Taiwan yard long beans. This is totally out of interest. I'm a big fan of contender green beans. If you watch my most recent video of the seeds that are coming back to my garden this year, pretty strong fan of contender beans. But this just looked too cool not to try, and apparently they're very prolific. So we're gonna give these long beans from Baker's Creek seeds a try this year. Okay, here is another fun one. We've got pumpkin on a stick. It's actually an eggplant. This is from Urban Farmer Seed Company. These purely ornamental. There is no edible value in these guys, according to everything I've read. They look really cool. They look like bright orange little mini pumpkins, and they grow, I think, more in a bush than they do, say, on a pumpkin vine. So I'm excited to try this one out. Right, the next one is also from Urban Farmer. This is Turkish orange eggplant. This guy's, again, super cool looking. I love the stuff that looks really neat. It is an edible eggplant that apparently is fruitier than regular eggplants. No salt is needed with these guys. Very compact and good for containers. So I'm really excited to try this one. All right, the next one is actually a whole bunch of yellow squash. So if you guys have watched me for a while, you know that I love to do test and learns. And what I'd like to do this year is test out yellow squash. I'd like to test out the yellow squash for overall quality and how prolific they are. I'm a big fan of small space gardening and getting the most prolific varieties I possibly can into my garden, because I don't have a massive amount of space. I have a no-till garden. I'm not tilling massive areas. So ideally, if I can get stuff that produces better in a small space, I'm in. So we're going to be doing a big test. I'll do a separate video on this, but essentially, first off, to all my farmers market customers, yay, look out for lots of yellow squash, which is super popular in the south. But also for our watchers, we'll do a test and let's see if we can find out what the best variety of yellow squash is. All right, that's it. Those are some of the fun seeds we're growing this year. What I want to know now is, what are you growing? What exciting things or new things are you trying in your garden this year? I'd love to hear your ideas. Maybe I'll add them to my list for next round or even the fall garden. Awesome, you guys. Well, thank you for being here. Be friendly, be kind.